Hi, welcome back to my channel. So let's talk about Tayler and Chance in this last episode. So it started off with Tayler, and she was like in an immense amount of pain. It seemed like her epidural really wasn't working too well. And she was sitting there in labor, and finally the time came to push. She pushed out the baby. So of course they pulled the baby out and immediately put the baby on Tayler's chest for skin to skin. And Chance wanted to hold the baby and demanded Tayler to hand the baby right over to him. And even the doctor was standing up for Tayler. He's like, look, she just did a lot of work and pushed the baby out. Give her a second. And Chance was like, she's been holding the baby for 9 months, which isn't the same thing as actually physically holding the baby in your arms. I don't think Chance realizes how important skin to skin is for the baby as soon as it's born. Like, it helps calm the baby and regulate its heartbeat, and it helps the baby adapt to life outside of the womb. So Chance just pretty much snatched that baby, and as soon as he did, the baby knew the energy was off and he started crying, and that just irritated me so bad. Of course, Chance had to make the moment all about him because Chance can't go a minute without the attention being on him. It's Chance's world. We're just living in it. Shoot, if it was up to Chance, this would probably just be the Chance show and nobody else would be on this show. It would just be all about him. So the baby was actually a little cutie. He had blonde hair, blue eyes, a head full of hair. So I already know Tayler had some severe heartburn during that pregnancy with all that hair on that baby. So Chance says he feels closer to Tayler more than ever now that he got to experience her having his baby with her, and he's hoping that Tayler can eventually regain her trust in him. So they're all having these beautiful moments after they had the baby, holding the baby, having family members spend time with the baby, and introducing the baby via video to the other daughters that Tayler has. And then all of a sudden they fast forward to 5 weeks later after having the baby, and everything is a total 180. Tayler has more on her plate than she ever has her whole life, trying to juggle her 3 daughters and a newborn and keep up the house. And you can tell she's like barely hanging on by a thread at this point. She's just barely keeping her head above water. So then they show Chance, and he reveals that he got laid off from his job. So I saw Chance talk more in a video about why he got laid off, and he said that it was a new job. And he already had to take a bunch of time off to film to begin with. And then Tayler had the baby. He had to take time off for that. Then he said their septic tank went out and they didn't have the funds to hire someone to fix it professionally. So Chance had to do it, and he had to take another week off work to fix that. Then I think he said like their heater or air conditioner or something else went out, and then he had to take another week off to fix that. And then he said the truck that he paid $28,000 on, that ended up breaking down, and that had to go in the truck for 5 days. So that's another 5 days he missed off work. So I think his job probably fired him instead of laying him off. But even Chance hinted at that being the reason he no longer had a job, is because he took so much time off work and that was a new job. So Chance, he's been laid off from his job according to him, but he has yet to tell Tayler, and he refuses to tell her until he finds another job because he says he doesn't want to stress her out, and he doesn't want to make her think that he's out here hanging out with other females while he's supposed to be working. This is what I think. Yes, Chance doesn't want to tell Tayler because he doesn't want to stress her out. But I think the big reason he doesn't want to tell Tayler is because he still wants to be able to do as he please. He still wants to be able to spend all day going to the casino, drinking, and doing whatever he wants to do out here in these streets without being questioned by Tayler while she's back home taking care of the newborn. And that's not fair to anybody. And plus, I know Chance is not out here gambling at the casino for 10 plus hours a day every single day while he's unemployed. So he may very well be out here being a sneaky little snake and out here cheating. So then Chance goes and sees one of his friends who fixes up houses and flips them. And Chance is super confident that his friend will have some work for him. But then his friend breaks the news that he won't have any type of work for him to do for at least another 4 to 6 weeks. So of course Chance is stressed out because he doesn't know what to do until then. And he doesn't have enough money to make it until then. He said literally the walls that surround them and their house will literally cave in, and they will lose everything in a matter of a month. Which Tayler needs to realize that's the reality of being with Chance. As long as she's with Chance, she's never going to have any sort of financial security blanket. They're always going to be living paycheck to paycheck, because when Chance gets extra money, instead of putting it in savings, he just sees it as extra money he can go out and spend. And if he ain't got his finances together by 41, I don't think he's ever going to get them together at this point. So thank God for Tayler, because I think if it wasn't for Tayler, Chance probably would have been homeless by now if he didn't have Tayler there with her credit card to bail him out every single time he needed it. And so then we see Tayler, and she's back at home with her hands full, and she hands the baby off to one of her kids because she's trying to juggle the baby and all the chores around the house and take care of the other 3 daughters. And then she goes outside to call Bobby because she's stressed out. She needs someone to vent to. And she starts talking to Bobby, telling Bobby about how problematic Chance's spending habits are and how Taylor's feeling overwhelmed because they're broke, nobody's helping her. And Bobby was like, look, I got you, girl. I'm going to come tomorrow. I'm going to come see the baby. I'm going to come see the girls. I'm going to come talk to you and be there for you. And so Tayler was like, okay, cool. So then while Tayler is sitting there venting to Bobby on the phone, they show Chance, and Chance literally is pulling up to a bar. He goes into a bar, and I guess like one of his friends was the bartender and owner there. So Chance is doing all this while Tayler thinks he's out working. And dude is out here partying it up like he's celebrating. And it's like, what are you out here celebrating? Getting laid off? Like, what are you out here doing, Chance? So then Chance, of course, the bar that he went to just happened to have a slot machine. And we already know Chance with his gambling problem. He could not resist. So he asked the owner of the bar, he's like, do people actually win money off these things? And the dude was like, well, actually more money than I thought when I first brought them in. Well, no one is going to put a slot machine in their business and tell people, oh, no one wins money off them. Don't play them. Of course he's going to tell you to play the machines and people win money off them. Because the more money you put in the machine, that's more money that goes in his pocket. So, of course, he's going to tell you to play the slot machine, Chance. And Chance is like one of those people you can tell that's always looking for the next get-rich-quick scheme. So, of course, Chance couldn't resist, so he put $70 in the machine, he lost it all in 30 minutes, and he went to the bar to try to cure his depression, but he just left the bar even more broke and more depressed after losing part of what was probably the rent money for the month in the slot machine. So Chance really thought he was going to get lucky, but that's the problem. Chance holds on to these times where he hits the jackpot, one out of probably less than a handful of times that he's probably actually hit a jackpot of over $1,000. And he thinks it's going to be like that every single time. But you got to count the 100 trips where you lost that much too at the end of the day. Because are you really winning long term if you go 100 times, lose $1,000, but then go 5 times and win over $1,000? No. See, that's the problem with Chance, though. He doesn't think about it like that. He just thinks about the times where he goes to the casino where he needs to win money and he won money, and he just holds on to that instead of thinking of all the times that he lost and got behind on the rent and almost lost everything because of his gambling problem. Like I said in my last video, that's why someone needs to call 188-BETS-OFF on Chance so he can no longer be allowed to gamble anymore, because this dude has no self-control when it comes to him going to the casino and gambling. So I was Tayler. I would put a tracker on Chance's phone to make sure he's not sneaking to the bar and casino all the time. And I would take care of all the finances. I would make Chance hand over all his paychecks when he does get another check, because it seems like Tayler actually knows how to budget money. And I don't think she's going to steer Chance in the wrong direction when it comes to helping him with his finances. Chance is just the king of excuses in my book. Like, what's going to be his next excuse? He's probably going to be saying he's going through postpartum too, which I'm not saying some men don't, because it's a very real thing that some men go through postpartum as well. But Chance is just that type. If someone is going through something, it's like he always has to one-up someone and make it all about Chance. Like, man, I don't even want to imagine how Chance is when he's sick. He is probably the biggest baby ever when he's sick. Plus, the fact that Chance uses an excuse that's easier to lie tells me that Chance still hasn't learned anything whatsoever. And plus, if the roles were reversed and Tayler was saying that, he would not be a fan of that at all, and he knows he would be mad. All I know is Tayler needs to stop wanting Chance to be the captain of the ship. She needs to take control before he ends up crashing the ship and letting it sink. And this is going to happen real soon if he keeps going down the road he's going down. Also, I was about to wrap up this video, but I was just scrolling through Instagram and I saw that Tayler actually addressed a lot of the backlash that Chance has received after snatching the baby from her right after it was born. So Tayler posted on Instagram and she said, "I've seen many posts, comments, and messages about Chance taking Mason from me after he was born, and how it pissed so many people off. Please don't be mad at it, because in my defense, I'm not mad about it. When I watched it, I seen a man eager to hold our baby, a man who actually wants to be involved in the delivery of his baby, and who was there the entire time I was in the hospital. I can't fault him for that. I can't complain that Mason's father waited just as long as me to hold him and actually wanted to. Sorry, but not sorry." Sorry guys, my son just woke up from a nap, so you might hear him a little bit in the background for a second. But Tayler, alright, if you're not mad about him snatching the baby away, then alright, that's cool. But the thing is, skin to skin is still very important. I think that needs to be known. But the thing is, I don't think people are as mad about him snatching the baby as they are that he's out here gambling on your guys' rent money while you're home alone with his newborn child. That's what's really irritating to people. I want to be fully transparent though. I could actually somewhat relate to this storyline because I dated dudes similar to Chance before, and I've been sober for almost 3 years now. When I first got sober, like when I used to get high, that's all I used to do was get high, go to the casino. And so as soon as I got sober, I wasn't getting high on drugs anymore, but I still wanted to go to the casino all the time. And I had a gambling problem myself for like the first 3-4 months that I got sober. But once I had my daughter, I kicked all that to the curb because I could not afford it. I had a baby. I had to get responsible. Which, thank God, that eventually clicked and I was able to get that up. Now I just go like once or twice a year. I might go on like my birthday and New Year's Eve. I just save it for like a few holidays a year, and I think that's what Chance needs to do, because Chance has no self-control. And it's one thing if you want to be dumb and blow all your money and hang out at the casino all day, but the thing is, you have a family relying on you, and you have a fiance who's back at home taking care of your newborn child while you're just out here living your best life, gambling it up, drinking it up, and it's not fair to anybody in this situation. I think Chance needs to be more selfless and start putting himself in other people's shoes and realizing how it affects other people, not just him. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts about everything in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.